This silver. Yes. I gonna wait to get my video camera, and it's awesome. It's cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Into video camera. Cool. Yes, it's sure it's cool. Well, I gonna go to the baby toy store.